Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's the Brent Hazzard Show, better known as the best hour of your week. Anyway, by the way, I'm always have my undefined co-host, Alan Cole.
Hey, y'all, what's happening?
Now, Alan, you had some questions for me about your role on this show.
Yes.
And I believe on doing things on the air.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what questions do you have?
Well, like, what is my role here? Because you seem to be grumpy all the time.
Okay, I'm not grumpy all the time.
I seem to be more of a happy, optimistic, let's find the positive outcome.
You're happy?
Yes, I'm solution-oriented.
I was thinking
you seem to be more of an identifier. What did you say?
Incompetent.
No.
You seem like that happy guy.
You seem like the guy that has
you're
to
just sitting
press
there
on
with nothing
people
to do.
because you're pressing down makes you taller. You're a tall guy anyway.
Sunshine, I don't have to. This is where.
No.
See, if you want to attack me, if you want to attack me physically,
tell me what you want me to do.
I had a speech impediment for 18
years. What am I doing here?
That makes you feel good.
Tell me what I'm doing here, Big Brent.
The feeling that I attack you.
Big brother Brent.
Hang on a second. I'll answer that question by introducing our co-host, Socrates Garrett.
Well, I just want you to give me a clean fight, break at the sound of the bell.
Have I ever had to? I respect that.
No.
Have I ever had to tell you what your role was?
No, I define my own.
You're a grown-ass man.
Yeah, I am.
I don't tell grown-ass people what their roles are.
Look, I don't want no biting of ears or nothing like that tonight.
Y'all have rules in fighting in Jackson.
Well, no.
In Greenville, we didn't have rules.
Well, we had this ever since Holyfield got his ear bit off.
Oh, let me go ahead and tell you that I ain't told you this rule about the Jinkin Boys and me.
No.
Quick Jinkin Boy story. You know, I did go to academy. We ran up on some boys, and there was 8 of. We believed. I grew up with. You better have numbers. Period. Bigger, smaller. We always had numbers. So these 4 boys that we were going to baptize, but there was 8 of us. So I said, man, I'll take the big one. Y'all take da, and then you 4 stay in the corner. And one of them 4 were the Jinkin Boys, because I figured, hey, they don't need to be doing the light lifting tonight. Man, I almost got my teeth kicked in by Bubba Jenkins. Bubba looked at me and said, do what? I said, man, you wait in the corner. We'll take these 4. Make it fair. He said, fair? I thought you said we're going to fight. I said, yeah. He said, Hazzard, if you ever tell me the word fair and fight together ever again in my life, we will jump on you like you owe us money. He said, all 8 of us going to jump on these 4, and if I don't see you giving everything you got, we going to jump on you next.
Wow.
Them 4 got jumped on. I realized that there was no such thing as a fair fight.
None black, I hope.
Or were they black?
Not.
Could that have been the motivation?
Yeah, I mean, in your part of the country.
So let me get this straight. I'm the only white guy on a black station
they're working for free.
that I just decided that I'm going to jump on 4 people who happen to be black because I'm a ex-Klan member. Is that what y'all got me now?
No. I see.
You were ex.
I'm a ex-Klan member.
No,
Is that what y'all got me now?
No. Well, no,
you didn't go family.
No. You were talking about ganging up on a smaller group, and that's what brought that up to me.
I guess you've never been to Greenville. Do you know the demographics of Greenville?
Not well.
It's not the smaller group. Is not the African American group in Greenville, Mississippi. Just FYI.
Isn't that up in the Delta?
That is totally up in the Delta.
Isn't that where plantations were?
And once again, the numbers were last time
So
I
there-
left was
Is that where
60-40.
Candyland is?
You're talking about Django and Chain. I
Correct.
think it was portrayed to be in Greenville. Yes.
Where's that county that he named?
I don't know what.
Chickasaw County?
Chickasaw's
That's a
up.
real county.
Yeah, but that's not Delta. Chickasaw's
It's on the east side.
Oh, well.
But
That's
yes,
Indian country.
Choctaw, Chickasaw.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
But-
You know, this is the nation of the Choctaw Indians. This is all of Mississippi was
The
Choctaw.
word Mississippi is Choctaw.
So there you have it. What-
My understanding.
You know,
The Mississippi River. The word.
I don't know exactly where all the Choctaws are now.
Colonizers.
They got marched off to Oklahoma.
Colonizers.
They literally, there's a
I know
Choctaw
what colonizers
nation.
are.
This idiot over here was calling me Archie Bunker before we got on air.
Why is that? I thought Archie was short.
I'm pretty sure because someone's racist.
Oh,
I
okay.
just thought I called you that because you're grumpy. Seem to be grumpy.
Maybe I'm just driven.
Now I think you're driven too, Brent. I also.
I don't. Let me go ahead
Yeah,
and tell you this. I don't
I
know which
think
one's
you're
worse.
driven.
I got Alan insulting me. I got your
I'm
two
encouraging
kids
you.
producing me who cutting jokes like we're not doing a live show. And then what makes me more nervous is when you're nice to me.
Well, I just think you're a driven person.
Oh, I'm very driven. It's
Yeah,
just scary
yeah.
to be nice.
Yeah.
Let's get into this. I want to get you on tonight, Mr. Garrett.
Good.
Mike Gatling could not be here tonight. He's got family obligations. I had to suspend him after the last segment. I had to leave last segment. I heard it was so bad between him and Alan. I had to suspend somebody. It sucked so bad.
Wow.
They're killing my numbers.
Wow.
Here's your role. Don't kill my numbers.
Okay.
But anyway,
I can handle that.
somebody, your producer, who won't give me clips, is saying the guy who has the #1 show on WNPR and Super Talk doesn't have any fans. I'm hearing that in the background.
Oh, okay.
Moving on, though.
You know, some racehorses have to wear blinders.
That's wisdom. You hear that? That's triple OG wisdom right there.
There's way too many black people around me right now. This is the gang.
You should-
I'm getting ganged up
be
right
woke,
now.
my
Hey, you should
I'm
feel
getting
right at
ganged
home.
up on is what I'm saying.
If you-
I'm getting
You
ganged up
talking about
on.
being ganged up on one? Ganging up on a guy?
You know, Brent.
Those other four
you know,
with
Brent,
the Jenkins
you-
boys, yes. I don't have my 8 with me.
Because, you know, you have to wear blinders so that you won't see that.
I got the reference. I'm not an idiot.
Oh, you got that?
Yes, I know you hang around with idiots where you have to
No.
explain everything to them.
No, well, let me see if you get.
I'm with you,
let me
boss.
see if you get this.
Okay. Richard's contract,
the-
Richard's disposal. Should they get paid or not?
Well, they should, but let me finish my point.
Even though they don't have a valid contract.
They did work.
Okay, well, so if you show up on a construction site and you don't have the contract, and you just start doing the work, you should get paid.
Yeah, absolutely. If you allow me to do the work.
I don't
Now,
think
if you
the city
know,
council, I don't
you
think the
saw
city-
me show up at 8:00 in the morning, and you're going to tell me at 5 I'm not going to get paid, or you let me work the whole day.
I hand you a cease and desist letter.
Well, I haven't seen that. I don't think Richard ever got one of those, because that would have to come from the mayor.
Well, no, because the city council sent him one. The mayor couldn't hire him, is what a court ruling
the
said.
city council. Well, okay, maybe they have the authority to do that. I don't think so.
What do you you
I
say
think-
the judge is wrong?
No, it was never a question that the mayor did not have the authority to veto a no vote. That was understood. That was crystal clear to me all along.
Okay.
That was not the issue. The issue was whether or not the city council acted in good faith, or were they capricious and arbitrary and capricious. And they gave no explanation for the denial,
They
their
don't
decision.
have to give a decision.
Well, then you just
it's not
can't.
a court of record.
You can't just turn down every contractor that the mayor presents till you get one you like.
I literally think that's what that means. Alan, what was your taking of the ruling and the opinion that's come out? And in your opinion, should Richards get paid?
Well, the no vote, I kind of saw that coming. I believe that Richards should get paid because they put their garbage out. I asked a city councilman. I said, "Do you put your garbage out?" front of your house? They said, yeah. I said, does Richard drive by your house and pick your garbage up? They said, yes. I said, you allow them you allow them to pick? They said, yes. I said, then they should get paid. Let me say this to you. Richard should be paid from the standpoint of they did the work. The fact that we're operating with a council that is not maneuvering logistically so that we can do basic business of the city.
Well,
I'm trying to be nice.
We just had a ruling from a judge. It's not the council that's going outside the scope of their authority.
Oh, they went outside the scope of their authority.
Who?
Several occasions. The council.
How? Well, that's not what a judge just
Well,
ruled.
maybe the judge didn't have all the information.
Oh, you got some.
Well, let me ask you. You're an attorney. The council.
So let me stop you there.
Okay.
You're
not an attorney?
I'm not just an attorney. Michael Jordan just wasn't a basketball player.
Okay, who are you, man?
Also sold shoes.
Who are you?
I'm just saying.
You Michael Jordan?
You calling me just an attorney is just calling Mike Mr. Jordan just a basketball player.
But he was also an investor in the private prisons.
This is why that last segment of our show sucked. Okay, I mean, if you think behind the scenes, someone wanted to talk about Pete Rose not being in the Hall of Fame. Bring it up, and we're fighting. I'm just saying right now. Back to what you were saying.
Well, let me understand this. I get you the greatest of all time.
I didn't say the greatest. So I cannot say the rules of professional conduct bar me from saying greatest or best. So I am not making that representation.
Oh, okay.
I'm just the beast.
The rules of professional conduct.
Mississippi rules of professional conduct
Bar you from saying that.
I swear.
Oh,
we
okay.
can never refer to ourselves as the best or the greatest or anything like that.
Okay.
Can you say the realist?
I think I can say a beast.
Okay, I like it.
I think I can say a soul collector, career killer.
Woo, that's bold right there, boy.
Shit.
Hey man, finger popping, show hopping.
That's what's up. Stand on it.
Go
Stand on
ahead.
it.
Sunshine, I'm from Greenville.
I heard you're a pretty aggressive guy in the courtroom.
You wouldn't know because you never hire me. You won't go cheap.
No.
Wow.
No, I already had one white
Was
attorney.
that clear?
I already had a white attorney when I met you. So,
He had his token.
I had a quota.
He had
Shit. At the end of the day, you got to bring some home to your family.
Hey, man.
Gotta recycle the dollars, brother.
As long
But
as
you live in Jackson, don't you, Brent?
Yes.
Okay.
I had to move here when I was a Hines County prosecutor. Some people possibly suggested that I forged documents. I said, oh, hell no.
Oh.
And they said you could put your office building as your
So
residence.
what case in Hines County did you prosecute that was of noteworthy?
Oh, if you want to know how I make my name or what?
I mean, there was a case that really moved you
Not as a
up.
prosecutor, no.
Oh, I thought prosecutors made their reputation over.
Oh, prosecutors make your reputation just going to court and handling hundreds of cases. If you want to know what made my name as a prosecutor, Judge Barnett requested me. Jimmy Morton requested me. Those are the two white judges. Bill Skinner, 30 white judges, requested me. Houston Patton requested I be his personal prosecutor. Frank Sutton.
I want to know who were you prosecuting.
Oh, it's always youth court as misdemeanor. If you want.
So you didn't have a high profile case like
You're like a layup
like,
guy. You're not a slam dunking kind of guy. You're just a basic layup, basic shooter kind of guy.
I'm sorry. Y'all want, I'm glad you brought that up.
Well, you
Whoa. I think I've been challenged.
I'm just asking.
I think I've been challenged.
I'm just trying to get an understanding.
it was just a basketball analogy.
That's all it was.
So
Points being scored, yes.
$100 million settlement with Microsoft. That would be a layup.
Well, that's what he's
Well,
asking
I'm asking.
you.
No, he said as a prosecutor. That was technically as a special assistant attorney general.
Was that did you prosecute in the case?
I was prosecuting a civil case technically, but it wasn't a Hines County prosecutor. I'm not done.
Well, but
that wasn't the end of the resume. You inquired.
Yes, sir.
Going to Rankin County and getting a $27.5 million settlement off an illegal vitamin cartel. Is that okay? Possibly revolutionizing.
I'm glad I could bring it out of him.
Well, no. He knows this. He knows this, and even when I'm not done yet. I'm not done. You inquire.
Rankin County, come on.
Even when I lost a $120 million case, the Supreme Court said we would articulate why Mr. Hazzard was wrong in the lower court. And I am quoting here. And I was not happy when I read it, and I'm still not happy here today because it cost me a lot of money. The Mississippi Supreme Court said it would confuse the members of the bar and judiciary. To even discuss my subject matter would confuse the members of the bar and judiciary. That's in a published opinion when they said guilty pleas weren't enough. Now, in every other case when someone stood up and said he did it, it was enough. But they had to let some people go away from me. They had to change 200 years of rules away from me. So maybe Michael Jordan's not the right analogy.
Well,
more like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, where they had to change the rules.
How did they change the rules?
Guilty pleas were not enough.
Yeah, but I'm saying Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
They outlawed dunking.
Oh, they didn't raise the goal?
No, they outlawed. He couldn't dunk.
Which is where he invented the.
skyhook.
When did you learn that?
Dude, I'm a basketball hooper.
Okay, all right, just asking.
Everybody. I mean, he doesn't know that down there because he doesn't know sports, but everybody knows that.
Yeah. That you're a basketball hooper?
That they told Mr. Abdul-Jabbar that dunking was unfair and he had to stop.
Which is what is skyhook.
Why did they make that rule?
Because he was dominating everybody. He was just destroying people.
Was it that?
Excuse me, not so much Kareem as Lou Alcindor in like
Was
the
it that
grade.
white boys can't jump and couldn't dunk?
I don't think there was a lot of white boys he was playing against in New York. I could be wrong, but I think it was just he was a people forget how bad Mr. Abdul-Jabbar was.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know,
Not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good.
I mean,
bad.
6 MVPs, 6 championships. You know,
Who's the greatest of all time?
Oh, I mean, that's Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Why?
Because he's the only player to ever win the Defensive Player of the Year, Finals MVP, All Defense, All NBA in 1 year. He won every damn award you could. I mean, did you know who? And I'm not being facetious. Do you know who John Moran is? The kid up in Memphis.
No. Well, yeah, I saw him in the playoffs. He's too small.
Yeah, you know who John Moran is. John Morant said, they asked him, and of course, Ja's got to stand up. Ja's got some dog in him. Love what he's doing to Memphis, and he seems like a wonderful person. He said, I cooked Michael Jordan. Mr. Jordan got off his boat, got on the Twitter, and said, kid, third year, I won 1 of 10 straight scoring championships and won my first of 5 MVPs. Stop tweeting me and impress me. People forget, Michael. People forget when you're talking about AI or Kevin Durant. For a decade, it wasn't who's going to win the scoring championship. It was Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Yeah.
Well, I just remember when the bad boys from Detroit didn't let him even get on the court.
For 2 years.
Lambeer.
2 years.
And
John Sally and
Rodman.
They didn't let him and Scotty. Scotty wouldn't even get on the court.
No, Scotty was emotionally weak. And look, no one hated Michael Jordan more than I hated Michael Jordan. Because, I mean, I did not like that type of basketball where he just
Isaiah just showed out on him.
He destroyed Isaiah. He kicked Isaiah off the dream team. You know how bad you got to hate somebody to say, I'm not going to be on this team with him.
You can't play with us.
Yeah, exactly. At the NBA level.
Wow.
What, you thought this was over? This ain't over.
Never.
This is a grudge.
Yeah.
Moving back to Richards, what do you know? Just because you didn't have, you didn't get the contract doesn't mean the city.
I had it for a brief period.
Seriously? You had the contract?
Yeah, for a brief period.
What happened?
The mayor awarded us an emergency contract to pick up the garbage.
Who is us?
My team.
I need the name
United.
for people knowing.
Yeah.
What was the name?
United Waste.
Okay, there we go.
United
Welcome
Waste.
to the show.
We had the contract.
We all don't follow you.
Well, I thought that.
And we all
everybody
follow
knew
you
that.
around.
Right. Well, not everybody.
I know, right?
But we had the contract because the mayor was at a great place, Impulse, where he couldn't get the council to go along with his recommendation from FCC.
Yeah.
So he entered into an emergency contract with United Waste. And
Are y'all back in the? Hang on, we've got a minute to go, but I want before we get into this, we're going to take a commercial break, even though we're a minute early, and I want to come back to see if Socrates Garrett is back in the running, and whether Alan and I think he should be back in the running.
That's what.
SGECOVIDsolutions.com is paving the way forward for a safer city government, delivering cutting-edge biosecurity and biosafety protocols developed internationally by top virologists and scientists using an all-natural cleaning solution, killing COVID-19 on contact like no other product on the international market. For more information, please call 1-800-281-9080 or visit us online at SGECOVIDsolutions.com. Let SGECOVIDsolutions.com provide innovative rapid facilities testing and world-class state-of-the-art biorisk safety protocols for all of your coronavirus needs. Call 1-800-281-9080 or visit us online at SGECOVIDsolutions.com.
We are back. Brent Hazzard, Alan Cole, Socrates Garrett. Alan, before I ask him the big question,
Okay.
going forward, where we are, the mayor had a press conference recently and said he's not backing down and he didn't do anything wrong. Did you see that?
I did.
Okay. Do you agree with the mayor's assessment? Or whose blame is it that we're in this situation where we don't know if we have a valid contract for garbage? Do you blame the mayor or do you blame the city council?
Well, at this point, if I were to look at the complete process, I would have to shift it toward the council. And here's why. Because there was a contract issued, a contract expired, it was a blind bid process that took place. It was also lined up with the fact, never mind that it was a African-American business, which is another proponent that or issue that we're working on with the city, but it was a viable offer that was won. And so it could have been ratified. I believe that it should have been. There was no reason for it not to be when proof of service had been demonstrated. So that's where I believe there was a breakdown. I think that the council wanted to prove a point and exercise its legislative authority, and the mayor, of course, being the executive authority, doing what he believes as an executive is what's best for the city. The power is something that's kind of like water. It has to shift from time to time. And that's what's not happening here. And so if they had allowed...
Shifting how? Because, I mean, the three branches, executive, legislature, and judicial, seem to work fine here. One got out of control. The executive and legislative sued and went to judicial, and judicial said, no, Mayor, you're at fault.
Well, the judicial said that based on the action that the council did. What's happening is a road that has not been traveled down before. This case is not, there's not been a case like this before.
Because it's idiotic.
well,
I'm getting to you. Hang on.
The case is unique.
put me in, Coach.
I know once I tag you in,
Oh,
I'm
exactly,
leaving.
exactly.
It's going to be a 7-minute diatribe.
It's unique at worst and at best.
We call that frivolous in the legal world.
Okay.
Let me ask you this, okay? You brought up an interesting argument. And I'm just using, these are numbers off the top of my head, okay? You said they should be a factor or a consideration for an African-American garbage contract, correct? That's fair assessment?
That's a part of it, yes.
Okay. Let's
It's a
say,
factor.
so you see waste management as a white contract?
No.
Okay. How would you describe Waste Management?
I see them as the incumbent waste contractor.
White or black?
Doesn't matter.
You're the one who mentioned it.
I mentioned it, but I mentioned it from a factor of there was a blind bid process that took place. The contractor who happened to win it happened to be African American.
So you're saying, should it be a factor or not? I need an answer.
It should be a consideration.
Okay. So that means a factor. Okay, let me ask you this. Waste Management, white or black, if it's going to be a consideration. You're making the call.
Teamsters.
The two options are white or black. Or would you say Waste Management's white or black?
Teamsters.
Okay, see, this is why we can't have honest conversations here.
Well, we're talking about something it's white.
Okay, well, I didn't say white.
White.
Okay, here's my follow-up, and then I'm going to him because
right.
at least he gives me answers. Teamsters. Waste Management gives me $10 or whatever it is. I don't even know what it is, how they charge it. He'll know all this. But let's say it's $10 a person a month. Okay, Waste Management, the white company.
It's now $37.
Okay, I mean, we're just using these numbers.
Doubled.
We're using the numbers for simplicity
Yes,
for the third time. Okay?
Come on with it, man.
I'm coming. You afraid to go down this road? What was your name of your company again?
United Waste.
And this is not their bid. This is in my world. United Waste's bid's $11. So the city of Jackson give the black company a contract that costs the citizens $1 more because they're African American.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
$10.50.
Not even at $10.50. Because you have to look at the fiscal display. That's what I think needs to be looked at. When you have economic factors in a city like Jackson, it has to be the economic priority. Now,
hang on, hold that. Should the city of Jackson, and we've been waiting for this.
Oh, yeah.
Should the city of Jackson pay a premium to give contracts to African American vendors?
The state of Louisiana has a 10% preference.
Okay, I don't know if you know what a yes or no question is, but that was a yes or no question. Should the city of Jackson give African American vendors a premium on their contract?
See, what you don't understand is that it's not a premium. When someone spends their dollars, they spend.
Okay,
they spend their dollars and it remains local. It means that you're getting less.
I understand.
Okay, you see, the deal is we're turning the dollars over in our community.
Okay, I'm not talking about. No. I'm asking a straight up question. Because that could apply on a $10 contract whether I give it to you, Waste Management. $10, you could argue that it has local effect because you're talking about the factor of 7.
Oh, yeah, man.
Okay, but I'm asking you the question for the third time because everybody's afraid here. Should the city of Jackson award a premium to African American vendors? It's a yes or no question. Yes or no?
Yes.
Why?
Because of the things I tried to explain a few minutes ago.
That's going to exist.
The deal is this: is that until we build a strong black business class in this community and give opportunity to those who have been historically left out, that we're going to continue to be last in everything that we try to do. Why do you think they instituted the affirmative action program so that blacks would have a chance to get hired inside of municipalities and state governments and private sectors? Why do you think the federal government instituted the 8A program? Because they had to set aside contract specifically for minority businesses because they have historically been left out. This is nothing new. You want to call it a premium. What we're trying to say is that we have to have an environment, an economy that benefits everybody.
But what I'm saying is you could do, so we're clear here, there's a premium if it's $11 versus 10. But if it's 10 versus 10, there's no premium. That's just a benefit, what you're talking about. And I mean, we've discussed this for those who've not, and I don't know if you were here, but it's called the Walmart factor. If you buy your prescription drugs at Walmart, that money is wired out to Bentonville, and they have, throughout history, Walmart kills small towns. restaurants. It dries them up.
Correct.
It kills the hardware store.
Yes.
It kills mom and pop's pharmacy. Grocery stores, mom and pops. And mom and pops are going to hire Bubba. And Bubba's going to get there and they're going to pay Walmart. All their services are done in Arkansas. So you can see the factor of 7. So, Mr. Garrett, there's a scenario where you said we need to support local vendors without paying an extra dollar more.
I didn't say without paying an extra dollar more. I think you can pay $10 extra more. I think the economists will tell you at which point that you are actually benefiting your economy and your city by paying this premium.
Has anybody had that study done?
Well, no.
I'm just asking. I'm not disputing your logic,
no.
but I'm saying that's what kills me when this comes up. No one, and I'm not just talking about you, but I interrupted you. Go ahead.
You see, the deal is that we never get to the paying of a premium. We won't take the low bidder. Richest Disposals was $1.2 million savings.
Correct.
Why don't we take the savings? You return down a savings.
Wait. Who's we?
We, the citizens of Jackson that elected the council that made the decision.
Okay.
Correct.
So if this is so obvious, and I mean the Walmart factor is there. Okay. I mean it's documented. If this is so obvious, then why hasn't Jackson or the state of Mississippi or more people done this, invested in this, adopted this position that we should only hire local? What you're talking about is hiring local.
Well, that's the position of the state of Mississippi.
Well, wait, he got quiet. Why did you get quiet?
Well, you're talking about why haven't people adopted that? Because we are a racist society.
You cannot legislate
Brent?
that. You can't.
Okay, stop. Y'all can't say because of racist society when the city council's all black.
It's being controlled by
majority black.
Waste management is controlling the votes of the black city council, Brent. Isn't that clear to you? Don't you understand that when somebody turns down $1.2 million that was in the best interest of their community and hiring a black man, when you vote against that, isn't it clear to you that someone is controlling that vote?
But what I'm saying is, so you and I are clear.
I thought you were an attorney, Brent.
Okay, first of all, you don't need to think on this show. You get in trouble. We've established that. Second of all, so you're saying, and what you're talking about is Kenny Stokes. Let's name them. Kenny Stokes, right?
Right.
The next one?
You can name all 5 of them, Brent.
Not all 5 of them. You have some votes for the mayor. Aaron Banks.
Right.
Okay. It's 4-3, so it's only 2.
No, it's 5-2. Virgil goes back and forth depending upon how much pressure she gets puts on her over there at Jackson Jambalaya. Well, whatever. I mean, why can't white people understand what's good for the city? $1.2 million savings.
But, okay, let me get into this, though. Well, let me ask you this, Alan. In your mind, is there any situation where they just got donated by a vendor and they're protecting their political donor without a racial component?
Well, I think that's what's going on. I think when you have a council that looks like what ours represents and looks like, and you have a factor of saying, okay, we're going to accept this that's going to cost the citizens more, there are other influences that go along with that. That's exactly what we're saying here.
Do you think Kenny Stokes is making a racist vote, casting a racist vote? Yes or no? Everybody gets quiet when you start adding names.
Well, it's because it's not for me to say who I believe is making a vote and why, based on race, for that perspective. What I look at is the result of the decision. The decision is hurting the citizens. You have someone that bid blind. They bid under. We're not talking about a premium here. We're talking about good government, good business. And at a minimum, it yields an opportunity to bring in and break it up. There's an influence that's taking place that is causing them to say no.
So the city okay, let's get in that. So
Period.
The COVID money disappearing, you don't think has any factor in any of this?
Look,
What are you talking about, Brent?
Yeah.
Well, you and I have actually had this. You and I have had this
I don't know,
conversation.
but you throw that bomb out there
it
like
is
that.
no
I don't
bomb.
know.
It has been reported, and you and I have had this conversation.
I don't know.
Well, we've had this conversation 3 times.
Is that where
and twice on your
is that
show.
where you say the FBI? You want?
It is not me.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not saying this.
Okay.
What the Clarion Ledger reported, and we've talked about this 3 times, Mr. Amnesia, that there was a COVID contract for $1 million that came from the city council to somebody in Flowood, and there was Lisa Ross had been hired, an excellent attorney, and she was quoted in the Clarion Ledger. My client didn't get any kickbacks. So when we're talking about bad decisions, y'all saying that Kenny Stokes and the rest of the council lost their mind when it came to garbage, and none of this is playing this. When we're talking about, I don't know if you two know this, and this might be getting on a tangent. Did y'all notice the extra filings about Mr. Governor Bryant and Brent Favre? There were filings in federal court recently. Usually when the filings start publishing in court, people start getting ready to talk, sing, or get arrested. People notice when these filings are happening. They're not sealed. You can go down to the courthouse and see, and here's what's been reported by the news in that case. In that case, it's been reported that there's filings in Jackson, in Hines and Federal. There's filings in Hattiesburg. The interesting thing is there's been some filings allegedly in Florida, where they might drag a couple of people who are popular in Mississippi to really stick it to them. Now, saying all that, knowing all that's going on out there, when you say there's an auditor I was on my show on WNPR tomorrow at 8 o'clock, the Richie and Hash Show, tune in. When the auditor was asked by yours truly, are you investigating the city of Jackson? He said no comment. Both of y'all's position is none of that has anything to do with the city council or anything to do with garbage. That's y'all's position. Well, excuse me. Mr. Garrett's position is, I don't know what you're talking about. Is that not true?
I think you just threw that out there like that in a reckless manner.
How is that reckless? We talked about it.
Some $1 million COVID money missing. I don't know if anybody got $1 million contract for COVID that's missing.
So where's the lawsuit against the Clarion
that.
Ledger? The mayor's suing everybody left and right. Why hasn't he sued the Clarion Ledger for defamation?
The mayor's being sued. Remember, the mayor's being sued here. He
has filed suit also. He's filed suit in front of Faye Peterson. He's filed some restraining order suits. He's currently being sued, but the mayor has also initiated suits. Am I misquoting anything there?
I'm sure he has.
Okay, but what I'm saying is y'all get all... Now, let me say this. I'll say it all the time. He's got a financial interest.
No, I don't have a financial interest.
You have a financial interest.
What are you talking about?
You have a financial interest.
You keep saying things, Brent. That
you just said y'all were up for a bid of contract. That would be a financial interest by any definition.
In what?
Of the garbage
I don't
contract.
have a garbage contract.
I said, but if you are up for the contract, that would be by
Well,
definition.
I'm not.
If you could possibly hire me, I might have a financial interest being hired by you, right?
Correct.
So I'm recognizing your conflict. That's all I'm doing. So I understand why he forgets about conversations. I understand why he has to defend certain people. I understand why he's getting quiet right now. And that's fine. I ain't mad at him. He's my guy. Let me say this. I said it 1,000 times. If I'm picking someone to pick garbage, I wouldn't be at the studio with this TV and those cameras. Mine. So I wouldn't be investing. I trust Socrates Garrett helped me when he didn't even have to. So if we rolling, I'm rolling with Socrates Garrett. It goes Hazzard Family, Jenkins Boys, the Hateful Eight, they're in there, and then Garrett. So I mean, he good people.
I just think you're reckless the way you present things. I don't have a financial interest in anything at this moment.
Oh, that's a damn lie, Socrates.
See, the
There's
deal
no
is,
way
the
you don't have a
deal
Socrates. So you're not getting any more contracts from the city council.
If I were to be the low bidder, I would hope to get some.
So you're not going to bid anymore.
It's not guaranteed.
You're not going to bid. You didn't get any water truck contracts from the ice storm and all. You didn't get any of that.
I am a contractor. Brent.
So you have
do
a
I have
conflict.
I'm a contractor not only in Jackson, but in as far
I
weren't
know
you
all
just
this.
weren't you just in Puerto Rico?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
a contractor in Puerto Rico.
And you have a financial interest in
do,
Puerto
do I
Rico?
have financial interest in everywhere in America?
So,
just because I'm a contractor?
Yes, if you're put up bids, yes, I don't hate you for that.
Oh, okay. Well,
I can't come on here and talk about certain
I gotta
judges.
find
I
it.
can admit I have a financial conflict. But I can't get up here and just openly criticize certain judges.
I have a
go,
financial interest in Malawi. Let me give you full disclosure there.
Educate me.
Okay.
We won't be talking about that president. What's his name? What does his house look like, Socrates? I don't even know where it is on the map. What does his house look like? Does he have a pool?
No, I'm not getting to
Oh,
that.
okay.
I'm not getting to that. You'll be dragging him through the mud.
What's his name again?
No.
Billy? He goes by Billy.
No, So, but you know, business people are
Have
working in America.
conflicts.
They
Yes.
don't have no conflict. That's not a conflict. This is the American dream. It's the philosophy. This is capitalism. This is how we operate. We get up every day looking for an opportunity to do business.
But not
Correct.
But when you're talking about public corrupt, I mean,
well,
public
there you go. I
contracts.
don't get involved with public corruption.
I said
don't do
public
that.
contracts. I don't know if that's the American dream.
And there are no-
Well,
there
you
are
said
no-
you don't
there-
get
there
involved.
are-
Part of it. It
They
has
are-
to be a part of it.
There are no contracts that have ever been awarded to anyone where someone didn't have personal influence in that decision-making
I'm not disputing
process.
that.
Okay, well then let's stop acting like it's
Whoa,
something new.
whoa. There's a difference between the FBI coming in and it's not coming in. You can't be that naive.
You know what the definition of corruption is, Brent?
I literally know the legal definition.
Okay, well let me give you my definition.
Well, let me ask you this. What was that definition they used over in Atlanta?
I have no idea what you're talking about again.
You don't know of anything of any FBI investigation or criminal prosecution where an ex-mayor of Jackson was brought over to testify in Atlanta. This is breaking news to you.
No, I understand what you're talking about. So, so the deal is very clear. Corruption in America, everybody's innocent until proven guilty,
That is
right?
the
Okay, and when you go to trial and you're found innocent, then there was no corruption.
Was that person found innocent?
There was no charges brought against that person, so
I'm
they
talking
were
about
found.
the one who was prosecuted in Atlanta. I don't know
Well,
who you're talking about.
even the person you're talking about in Atlanta, he came home
She.
scot and
It
free.
was she.
It was a she. Then
was
I
a
don't know
she.
who you're talking about.
The one they prosecuted in Atlanta.
Who?
The woman that they prosecuted in Atlanta.
Oh, you're talking about Missy Biggers?
I'll Google her name. We gotta take a break. I'm gonna Google her name.
I don't know. I don't know who you're
We
talking
will
about.
be right back.
I don't know who did they prosecute.
Advertise on WeBelieve.global, a brand new digital media platform. Share your brand with our audience on our many global live stream TV broadcasts and over the radio. For more info, visit WeBelieve.global or call 800-492-5186, option 1.
We're back. Last segment, Brent Hazzard show, Alan Cole, Socrates Garrett. The person I was talking about, Mitzi Bickers.
Yeah.
Okay. So you heard of that name. But moving on, because we beat this dead horse. My whole point is this. I think it's unfair for you gentlemen to classify people like Kenny Stokes and Aaron Banks as purely a racist. And I believe all this started, because here's the
I didn't
deal.
classify him as a pure racist.
Okay, somebody on the panel said they were being racist. If you want to clarify, clarify.
I said reckless.
Okay.
I didn't say he was making a racist decision. I don't know why he's making the decision that he's made. Of all the city councilmen, he would probably be the one I would guess on the least, because he's the one I have the least interaction with, communication with.
I'm glad you clarified.
Yes.
My apology for any. But my whole point is, when we don't look at the whole concept that this mayor and this city council has never.
You know,
been-
that happens to black a lot, Brent. Your damage is done
Whose damage is what?
You know, when you said a man was called him a racist, and then now you apologize, but
You
the damage is done.
literally gonna sit down here and call him a racist, and when I misquoted your words, you're gonna call me the bad guy.
No, I'm just saying.
Is this the Socrates dance I hear so much about?
No, the
Is
damage-
this that Socrates two-step? Is this how they do it in Hawaii? What contracts do you have in Hawaii anyway?
Oh, I'm not sharing with you, Brent.
I'm just asking.
You a subcontractor?
That depends on the check. We might delete all this show if the check's big enough.
I hear you, bud.
Moving back, did y'all see the shooting where the gentleman changing topics? Well, first of all, let's see if I can read. See what I'm talking about. You're trying to stop y'all. Did you say racist but continue? I can't read.
Malcolm could read them out loud for you.
Hey, Malcolm, why don't you read some comments?
Gotcha.
Or one of our producers.
Lloyd Lewis is defending you, but Smith Michael is who you need to listen for. All right, I'm going to call out Smith.
Whoa, Floyd Lewis, man. Let's get some Floyd Lewis comments going.
All right. Lloyd Lewis is basically saying that you're not a country boy, you're a good old boy, but they basically saying you're a good Mississippi guy. But
That's what I'm talking about. I don't know who Floyd is, but he's good people.
How much you pay for that?
Sunshine, we don't.
Good old boy.
Let me ask you this. Did you see my name in Atlanta anywhere? Did you see that anywhere? No checks coming on over here. What? Give me the hard comments. Give me the ones that hit.
all right, well, Smith is saying that you're trying to trap Mr. Garrett and Alan Cole right now.
Okay, first of all, I truly do not believe I could trap either one of these. And the gentlemen are here, even though this person's called me Archie Bunker. They're here because of their intelligence. One of the reasons I try to get down and clarify, so there could be no traps, but also it's the intellectual sparring. Mm-hmm. So I completely disagree with that.
Smith also thinks you need to be taken off the show.
How the hell y'all gonna take me off the own show, Michael? Just quit watching. It's the Brent Hazzard show. It's like saying we don't need to watch baseball at a baseball game. Good God. The Brent Hazzard show brought to you by Alan Cole.
Well, that's kind of what's happening with Wendy Williams right now.
I have no clue what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, Wendy Williams had a show, but she's
Yeah, I know Wendy. They took her off.
Lloyd says you overtalked them.
Okay, welcome to my show. We clarified that, but that's fine. Enough comments. This is dying. Did y'all see the shooting where the guy shot the shooter? Did y'all see what I was talking about?
I heard about it.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
There was a guy who came out of a mall bathroom with an AR-15, and he was 20. And a 19-year-old happened to have his 9mm there, and he went into some sort of like game of war. He was approaching, shot the guy, killed the guy, was waving people on while he was engaging with this guy, and then shot the
real life Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Yes, that's what the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
What is your now? Usually, this does not happen. What is your opinion of having someone shoot an active shooter?
Well, an active shooter definitely needs to be shot. I just don't know that private citizens, that we need to be living a vigilante style form of justice in America.
Now, for those who do not know, haven't watched the previous show, you did some time in the military, correct?
I did.
What branch?
United States Army, 82nd Airborne Division.
And did you use, you had to be certified in your M16?
Correct.
And did you see any active combat with
No,
that?
I saw a skirmish.
Okay. Do you still have guns, possess guns? Do you still shoot?
I still shoot. I do have own a gun, yes.
Okay. Are you you go to shooting ranges or
Yes.
Okay. If a shooter started happening here somewhere close to you, would you engage?
If I believed I could take a safe shot and kill the shooter, I would.
Okay. Socrates, people who may not you served in the Army.
I did.
Certified.
Trained killer.
You're laughing. Did you see action?
No.
Okay.
Because I had a finance MOS.
Okay. Did you, if a shooter happens now, and I would imagine you traveling like you do to construction sites, there are not always the safest things.
No.
Would you engage an active shooter?
Absolutely.
Okay. Did you have a standard piece of equipment that you carry, or is it just depends on where you're going?
Depends upon what room you're in.
Okay. No, I used to criticize people all the time about this. Everybody in their mind is Clint Eastwood. And now as a prosecutor, I've been followed to restaurants. I've been followed outside of bars. I've had the Hinds County Sheriff's Department call me up and said there was a guy Facebook living that he was going to kill me. Judge Wise calls me up. Judge Martin called me up and said they're here and that you and I are on some list. Now, he didn't do anything. And let me go ahead and say this. The first thing went through your mind is like, Freddie Jenkins says he's going to come shoot you, and he's Facebook Living it. Oh, I Googled for Freddie Jenkins. I pulled him up, and then you pull up his address, and you're like, well, I got that 270 right there. I mean, this goes through your mind when someone's talking about them killing you.
Well,
now, nothing happened. The Hinds County Sheriff's Department
went through my mind every day as a black boy in Mississippi.
Okay.
That somebody might kill me.
Well,
I grew up with that.
Once again, I'm not disputing that.
Okay.
I'm just saying my whole point is when everybody in their mind, and which we could be talking about Uvalde, everybody thinks they're going to be a hero. And that's not the majority of people. That when you really facing pressure, and when you have to make a life and death shot, but more importantly, but people don't understand when you're talking about shooting, it's not the criminal or it's not the active shooter that you really need to be considering. It's the people behind them.
correct.
It's the innocent bystander.
Correct.
And what no one ever asks you, everybody's like, do I have a right to shoot or I have a right to defend myself? No one ever asks the real question, will I be prosecuted if I miss you and shoot the two people behind me?
Correct, that part right there.
No one ever asks that question. And the answer is yes.
Yes, you will be.
You will be prosecuted. The worst case scenario, best case scenario, manslaughter. Because if you kill those two people behind the active shooter, okay, those people would still be alive.
Had you not fired your weapon, correct.
And
Did anybody get prosecuted for the January 6th killing?
it's one of the most prosecuted cases. Now, did anybody get charged with murder?
Yeah, murder.
Not to my knowledge.
Oh,
The
why?
highest sentence.
Why is that?
Because the problem is the person who shot him was a officer. You're talking about the woman who got shot?
No, I assume some people got killed when you were
was
scaling the
one-
walls. I assumed a couple people
There was
died.
one woman who got shot. She was shot by Capitol Police.
There's more than one that died.
Well, no, the people who died after that, there were heart attacks and things like that, and that's one of the issues they have. I know what you're saying, but they were active people. Well, no, there was a police officer who had a heart attack, and they think it's because he was fighting the staff, but I think it was the next day or something. But there was only one murder during January 6th. But I will say this. I think anybody who is...
In the Army, Brent,
Yes, sir.
you train that there are certain environments where you cannot take any prisoners.
Okay.
You know what that means?
Yes.
What does it mean to you?
Kill everybody.
Including what? Everybody. What is everybody?
Look,
There's a saying in the 82nd when we say that, kill them all, let God
sort them out. No, I know. Go ahead.
So that's the way the military trains you for combat.
Okay.
So if there's a active shooter that is in my presence, it's my responsibility to take him out.
Well, let me say this.
Now, I don't know about collateral damage.
If you shoot me and kill me, no, that ain't your responsibility. No. If I get shot by you, friendly fire, no. I want you prosecuted for if you wound me, if you put me in a wheelchair.
There's going to be collateral damage. We're going to take care of you. You in the wheelchair. We're going to make sure that you're taken care of. But I'm going to get the Purple Heart, the Medal of Freedom. The president's going to call me up and he's going to put that around my neck.
I'm going to want, and this is what Alan was talking
Wouldn't
about.
Wouldn't you agree that if he stopped another 15 people from getting killed, that he did the right thing?
The gentleman we're talking about, yes, he's a hero.
He's a hero.
He's a hero. There's no question about that. There's a video going around, and I don't know if it's current or not. Someone robs like a bank or a store, and the gentleman beside him is in a tank top and in shorts. And he's just sitting there, and the guy's like, give me all your money. And he's like, dun-dun, dun-dun. And then he pulls out like a 9mm, puts it to his temple, and then blows him away.
Wow.
And what I'm saying is, as an ex-prosecutor, I always tell people, one time in another city in Tupelo, I had someone kicking in the door screaming for me. And I went and got, because I was a lawyer and prosecuting, you have different types of guns. When I get to my residence, I have a 12 gauge. I'm just going to get a bucket, And then one of the reasons I always use a shotgun when I'm home, I don't have to worry about neighbors. It's not really going to spread in the next door. But I tell people all the time, I've literally had to go to 2 bedrooms before, close both doors, call 911. If you ever get in this situation, I would highly recommend, because I'm making a record. Alan's here, someone's knocking on the door, he sees he's going to kick it in. Please come here as quick as you can. If he kicks in both doors, I'm shooting him. I've backed myself in a corner. I've established I'm
imminent danger.
Yeah, I've done everything I could to avoid conflict. And now if he gives me no choice, I'm going to have to put him down. I would recommend everybody do that and avoid conflict.
Well, that's not necessary.
It's not necessary.
We got the council doctrine.
Once again, just because you think something's going to go down, you're going to get sued for everything, whether you're right or wrong. You're going to get arrested. The guy, people forget, or you remember the kid who broke out of Hinds County Youth Court, and he was breaking into cars, and the guy went out there and shot him? That guy spent 6 months, 9 months. Now, he was released on the Castle Doctrine. Robert Smith had him arrested for 9 months and put in Hinds County Detention Center. But he was fine, and on the scene, JPD said he didn't commit a crime.
Wow.
And then what I'm saying is, if you can avoid conflict, whether it's a fist fight, guns, or anything like that, you shouldn't avoid it, because you don't know the civil issues. You don't know. Like Trayvon Martin, if those two guys could just gone their separate ways. What was the guy's name?
George Zimmerman.
If Zimmerman would have just stayed in his car.
He was looking.
He totally was. And that's what I'm saying. If he would have just stayed in his car, I think Zimmerman, not only would Trayvon Martin's life, he would still be alive, I think Zimmerman's life would be 1,000 times better. So when you go looking for
them
trouble,
boys in Georgia, them good old boys.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
If you would have just stayed in your car and say, I think, there's something going on here.
That goes back to the temperament and the heart of this nation. In many instances, the racism and white supremacy, the fact that that they believe that certain individuals believe that they can just kill black people and get away with it. That's just a fact of this nation. Not everyone feels.
No,
that way,
once again, I know I don't feel that way. I appreciate.
We're not talking about you, Brent. We're talking about the other.
I appreciate you.
And so we come to this position, which is pretty clear and a pretty standard procedure out here now, that everybody's being taught that it's always better to be judged by 12
and carried by 6.
And carried by 6. So the deal is.
I know you don't know Ice Cube.
Well, yeah, I know a little bit about it.
You heard that on my show, I'm sure. Yeah. But back to the question is, should that be the solution to Jackson, Alan? Jackson's crime. Should more people start carrying?
That's an interesting question, Brent, because I certainly believe that more people should be registered gun owners, and more blacks should certainly register with the NRA. But I think that would definitely eliminate some of the cowardness. But I don't think that that's the solution. No, I don't think that's the solution.
Socrates, do you think that's the solution?
No, Jackson doesn't have a crime problem.
155 murders last.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't have a crime problem. It's got a poverty problem.
Okay, what is your definition of a crime problem, though? What is a crime problem if 155 murders in one calendar year is not?
When drug deals go bad and crimes occur because of economics and things of that nature. But in Jackson, when 45% of your population lives below the poverty line, and there are no fathers in the home, it doesn't have a crime problem.
Okay, but you just described, do you think there's a crime problem with anybody that doesn't have the same characteristics?
What do you mean?
Do you think there's a rich neighborhood somewhere that's leading the nation in crime?
There's no crime in the rich neighborhood.
Exactly, that's my whole point.
That's because they're not hungry.
Because they're not hungry.
Once again, I'm not questioning that, but what I'm saying is if you say that thing right there that quacks like a duck and swims like a duck and has feathers like a duck ain't a duck, then you don't have ducks.
But you can address what you're addressing are the symptoms.
Once again, I understand that, but it's a crime problem. I understand the causes of the crime problem.
It's the equivalent of a runny nose. Yeah, you got a runny nose, but why is the nose running?
Once again, I agree with that assessment. He's saying you don't have a runny nose.
Look, let me ask you this: does Mississippi have a corruption problem?
Oh yes.
Are we the most corrupt state in the nation?
No, I disagree with that.
Where do we rank?
I don't know.
We're in the top 5.
No, we're nowhere near.
Oh yeah,
wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, wait. Illinois' governor was selling Senate seats.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even trying to be cute about it. Louisiana, New York, in Massachusetts, 50 years ago, you could drown a white woman and still become U.S. Senator in Massachusetts. Or did Teddy Kennedy not exist?
Yeah. You could drown in Mississippi and still become a U.S. Senator?
What U.S. Senator drowned people? In Mississippi.
That we can prove.
You just making
we
things
certainly
up.
We certainly had a governor that a reservoir is named after that made sure that many people were drowned, hung, and everything else.
Okay, should we change the name of the of Barnett Reservoir? Since you brought it up.
I believe we should. I believe we should. It should be named after an individual that aligns with the values of present, not of the past.
So you would change everybody's name that's in the past. George Washington wouldn't have a name for something. Andrew Jackson, we change Jackson. We change.
Well, that's America. I'm not saying you, but you're talking about a governor. We're talking about.
Oh, I gotta go back. Okay, do you think the Barnett Reservoir should be changed?
I think all racist symbols should be removed. Okay. Now, if Barnett is identified in the same way that Bilbo and the rest of those racist governors.
Wait a minute. You're the one who always lectured me. Whoa, stop. I am not letting you get away with this. You're the ones telling me you don't know what it's like for Emmett Till. You don't know what it's like growing up. You tell me, is Barnett, do you see Barnett as a racist symbol?
Yes, I do.
So
I hadn't thought about that in regards to the reservoir. But yes, Barnett was a racist symbol.
Do you think when he held up your guest or tried to prevent your guest,
James Meredith? Yeah.
And they can find that episode where you interviewed Mr. Meredith on We Believe Digital.
Oh, yeah?
What, didn't you interview him?
Yeah, I did.
And it's on We Believe Digital?
It is.
Okay,
for anyone that wants to see.
What name, we got 36 seconds. What name should be the reservoir named after?
I don't know. You just can't make those kind of decisions that rapidly. You have to give that some serious thought.
What name?
What name should it be named after? If I was going to pick a name, it could be named after Hiram Revels.
I was going to say Medgar Evers, since we're talking about the metro area.
Maybe it shouldn't have
don't jump
be named
on that.
after
Don't
a
jump
person
on that.
at
Don't
all.
jump on
Correct.
that. Don't jump
Maybe
on
it should
that.
be called the Magnolia Reservoir.
Yeah. It doesn't have to have a person's name.
How about the Bobby Rush Reservoir?
How about it?
Save some money for renaming some streets. We're running out of time. I want to thank Socrates Garrett. Socrates, what times does your show come on Fridays?
It comes on at 7 p.m. Fridays, Brent. It's going to be a great show. Look forward to you guys joining us.
And let me go ahead and say this. I won't be going on that show quite a while, Alan, since I've beat the hell out of him so bad here today. But thank you. See you next week, Alan.
Pleasure, brother.
We'll see y'all next week.